Welcome to another episode of With Liza Faye. I'm so happy that you're here with me, and let's talk about one of my poems in my LabLab Faye series in a little while. We all go through difficult times, and most of us go through those difficult times alone. That's fine if you want to go through things alone. I did that too. But whenever you feel like going out of your alone time and you feel like connecting to another sentient being, well, that's why I'm doing this. Just keeping a space for you to be with somebody. I'm Liza Faye. Nice to meet you, or nice to be with you again. And let's journey this crazy, beautiful thing called life. Hi, so welcome back here for another episode of With Liza Faye. And the poem we're talking about is something I'm very passionate about. And the title is Be You. Yes, be you. If you haven't read the poem, I put the link below. You can grab your own copy of my ebook. Please do support me if you can. And also, you can just listen to them in my Instagram and YouTube accounts if you would like to. So, be you. You know, in this generation, I am happy that a lot of people know who they are. They're very passionate about who they are. But what I can see is that sometimes we intertwine who we are and what we do. Those are very different things. Who you are and what you do is very different. For example, you can be a lawyer, you can be a dentist, you can be an engineer, you can be a pianist, you can be an author. That's what you do. Do you know who you are? You can be a funny lawyer. You can be a Barbie-like lawyer, always in pink. You can be a very passionate lawyer. You can be a scary lawyer. You can be an angry lawyer. This is who you are. This is what you do. You're a lawyer, but you can be funny, angry, Barbie-like. So this is who you are. This is what you do. You know, I love Marvel, of course. And my favorite character is Iron Man. And there was one scene there where Captain America was asked Iron Man, "Who are you without your suit?" And Iron Man was so fast to say, blah, 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 philanthropist, blah, 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 blah. So Iron Man knew who he was. Tony Stark knew who he was if he wasn't Iron Man. How about you? Do you know who you are? Let's take out being a lawyer, being a dentist, being an engineer, a mathematician, being what else? An entrepreneur. Let's take all that out. Who are you? Do you know who you are? Can you really answer that as quick as Tony Stark did? You know, I don't remember everything else that Tony Stark said, but I always remember he said philanthropist. You know, in all of the Iron Man characters, he was always the one who wants to save everyone at the end of the day. We might see him as very egoistic and narcissistic, but at the end of the day, he's always the one with the plan to save everyone, especially Pepper. So he loves people. That's who he is. He loves people and he wants to save people. And so he loves people, and so what he does is he saves people. That's what he does. Who he is he loves people. So that's the difference. If I ask you right now who you are, can you answer me? Who are you? There are many elements to who you are. Okay, it's just not one element. Like if you ask me who I am, I'll answer right away. I'm a vegetarian because that's like my top thing right now in my life. I wasn't vegetarian all the time. I just became vegetarian 4 years ago. The thing is, it was always in me, but it wasn't nurtured. Sometimes who you are needs to be nurtured. You know, I remember one time we were traveling as a family. Again, this is just my story. I'm not intending to discourage anyone or anything. So we were in a family trip, or I think work trip, and we went to a stopover where everyone was selling barbecue. I didn't know what was going on, but they said there was a new thing. It was a new kind of barbecue. And I was like, what's a new kind of barbecue? And you know what they told us? 1 day old chick barbecue. I'm like, what? 1 day old chick? And they were already cooked and barbecued and ready to eat. You know, when I went down the car, everybody was happy. Wow, it smells so good. Let's eat, let's eat, let's eat. I was like, this is mass murder. But I just said it in my head. I couldn't say it out loud. That's because it wasn't nurtured. And everybody was giving me my own one-day-old chick on a stick, and I look at it and I was like, I can't eat this. I think I got scolded for not eating it because there was no other food, but I couldn't eat it. Maybe I was hungry, but I can remember the feeling. I can't eat a one-day-old chick. How can you eat a one-day-old chick? But it was all in my head. I couldn't say it because being a vegetarian wasn't nurtured inside of me. And I mean, that's okay. I mean, during that time, veganism and vegetarian was not really a thing. You know, people ate meat, especially in the Philippines. So people are meat eaters because of culture, and that's a whole nother topic. But I met my best friend 4 years ago, and he's a vegetarian, and he was the one who was able to nurture that part of me, and I was able to make finally a decision. You know what? I should stop eating meat, and I've been a vegetarian ever since. So who I am had to be nurtured, but sometimes it's natural. So I don't know what it is in you, but it can just be there already, or it has to be nurtured. So that's why when we grow, we are encouraged to see what's inside of you. How do you feel about this? What do you think? Well, now the kids have that. During my time, no, we don't do that. But during this time, it's like that. So how do you feel about this? What do you think about this? You know, and that's the process of being you. You know why I'm so passionate about this? Because sometimes we compare ourselves with others. Again, I go back. The only time you should compare yourself is not with others. The only time you compare yourself is you compare yourself with the old version of yourself. Did you get better? Do you need to go back to your old version because that one is better? That's the only time that you can compare yourself. Because if you compare yourself with others, it's just gonna frustrate you because there is no one like you. There is no one else like them. You are the only one, you. So you have to know who you are and what is your contribution to this world, not what you can do. What does your presence do in this earth, on this earth, you know? Sometimes it's hard to find who we are because we are always measured by what we do. And that's a bit hard to do in a world that's always asking, what can you do? And not asking who you are. And that's what inspired me to write this poem. You know, fear not, all will be well in its own time. Just be you. Live right above all love. I think that is the best way to learn about who you are. You need to first know how to love yourself. You need to know how to forgive yourself. You need to know how to be patient with yourself because you cannot give what you don't have. You can only give what you have. So if you're a performer and you always live because you can do something, that's how you're going to see people. So if this person cannot do this, why am I going to be friends with you? If that person cannot do this, then why are you even here? So we don't see people for who they are. We see people for what they can do. And that was something I had to change in myself also in the past decade or so. I always looked at people, what can you do for me? What can you do for this company? What can you do as a friend? I was always like that because I grew up like that. I came into this world like that. What can I do? I need to serve a purpose. I need to do something to be useful. And it's just a cultural thing, especially in the Filipino culture. But it's something that I am thankful that the Lord allowed me to experience, to change into something where I don't ask what you can do. I ask, who are you? And then let's see what you can do. But first, I want to know who you are because that's the person I want to connect to, not what you can do. What you can do, we can improve. What you can do, we can enhance. But who you are, that's who you are. You know, it also can be enhanced. It can also be nurtured. But whatever is inside of you, it's there. It's something unique only to you. And you're still alive right now on this earth because of that uniqueness inside of you. So do not ever lose who you are. All right? And my encouragement is in your journey, in finding who you are, please try to always to choose love and to smile whenever you can because smiling helps you think positive about yourself. It just has a power, smiling. So, as we close, I encourage you, if you have forgotten who you are, please try to have some time with yourself and just remind yourself who you are. Who are you? Really? Not what you can do. Who are you? And if you can answer that, if you can remind yourself who you are every day, that just makes life so much bearable to live. Let's face it, life is hard, life is difficult. But you know what? Life can also be beautiful. Life can also be happy when you know who you are. So be you in this beautiful world. All right? Hope to see you next time. If you want to leave a comment, please do so down here. If you want to chat with me, I also put the link below where you can chat me in Instagram. And as we close today, I can't never remind you enough that there's only one you in this world, and you are important in this world. See ya on the next episode of With Liza Faye.